Hello, and welcome to this webinar for InCat, presented by eSpec. Who is eSpec? We are digital image workflow specialists focused on the automated movement of digital images throughout the enterprise. eSpec was founded in 2001 and is an Adobe development partner. Organizations today encounter many problems presenting active product offerings across the enterprise and to their customers. Manually creating and maintaining these documents is time-consuming and often costly. We find product design images created and dispersed across multiple locations on a network. Typically, we organize these images into silo folders, and searching for the items is often a tedious undertaking. If we're lucky, we might have a business system that catalogs these images like digital asset management or PLM. And these complex business systems associate product details with these images. A designer or merchandiser is often asked to collect these images and may have to rekey the product details from the business system into a static document within Adobe Illustrator or InDesign or some other means. The document can then be presented as a line sheet to management or other departments like sales and marketing. So what happens when the price or some other detail changes on these products? We often find ourselves in a hunt and peck scenario, having to scour through multiple line sheets, product catalogs, all these disparate documents that we created, looking for all the items we need to update. We have to do it one at a time. And how often do we make product detail changes in the fast-moving markets of today? Keeping up with these changes is both time-consuming and can be particularly costly when something gets missed. Errors can be abundant. So enter eSpec's InCat for Adobe InDesign. InCat is a tool that allows you to connect directly to these product databases and create a line sheet or a catalog with a simple click of a button. So how does it work? Well, InCat provides a connection to a variety of configurable databases. Documents can be created and pull data and images from the database and from the network storage areas using a simple template layout. We can create the templates with ease, doing simple data mappings, and we can search our database for the products we need using either by the image, viewing the image, or reading from a list. So let's take a look at InCat in action. So we'll start by opening the InCat tool within Adobe InDesign. Here we have three tabs: our Data tab, our Templates tab, where we'll configure our template layouts, and the Administrator tab, where our system administrator or department head has configured our database connections for us. Let's go back to the Data tab. We'll start by choosing a database connection and a layout that we want to use. In this example, we're going to start by creating a line sheet, and let's search our database here. Let's go look. Let's choose our girls, and yeah, summer 2013 shirts. And we just hit our search, and just like that, we have our search results in a thumbnail view. We can browse that location for those results. Pick the items that we want. We can look at this view in list mode. We can sort by any of the criteria that we have searched by just clicking on the column headers, and come back. We can pick and choose which items we want to include in our document. So holding down the keys, we can pick the items. I'm just going to do a select all here. And we're going to hit this plus symbol that'll add those items to our queue. So we're building a queue of images or product images that we want to include in our document. To review the queue, we just click over here. We can see everything that we've selected. We can look at that in thumbnail or list view. I can continue to do more searches to add to that queue, and once I'm satisfied, then I can move on. We can reorder the items to put them into a more definable sequence, and we can even remove some items that we may have picked up by mistake. Once we've made all our selections and we're ready to produce our document, we just click the Create Update Document button, and off we go. So we give it a moment to reach out to the database and grab those images, and there we are. Just like that, we have our line sheet. And as we scroll through here and look at the products that we have, you can see we have a variety of details that have come in. So we've got our image, we've got kind of our brand and our season, got our style number, product name, we even have the price, the wholesale and retail, and we're even able to bring back a CMYK or RGB value from the database and render that as a color so we can get our color chips. We don't have to store an image of the color in our database. Notice as we move from page to page, we have in our footer here this delivery. Now, when the items change to the second delivery, it initiates a page break. So any of our header or footer items, when those values change, it'll keep our data organized by the header and footer that we've specified. Let's go back to page 1 here, and we see this skirt came in, and the image is a little oversized compared to the rest of the items on the page. So I'm just going to go ahead and shrink that guy down and make it more in line with what we've got, the look of the other items on the page. So it looks more pleasing. So let's say while I was doing that, created this document, I'm making some tweaks, a user in another department came along and changed the price on one of these items. Let's go to the database, let's look at that skirt, and lo and behold, here, you know what, let's knock that down to 19.5, and we'll go to 42.75, and commit that. So now our data is out of sync. Well, all I have to do is just reopen this document at any time, or if I already have it open, just bring up InCat and hit this little refresh button down here. And just like that, it's going to go out to the database and update my prices for me. So any piece of information that we brought from the database will maintain its link to the database. And with a simple refresh, we're able to update our content with a single click. Notice it did not change and resize my image. So any adjustments to the look and the layout that I make, those tweaks, those fine-tuning, are not going to get overwritten from the database. It'll just replace the content within the object box. If I were to delete the image, then obviously it would bring the image back. But in this case, it didn't change the shape of the image because we're going to maintain those presentation tweaks. Now when I distribute this document, we have down here in the left-hand corner a timestamp. So anytime I hit refresh, it's going to update that timestamp for me. So that way, anyone I distribute this document to, whether I publish it as a PDF or as a digital publishing app or electronic document, anyone looking at it can look at that timestamp and know that's the exact date and time the information was pulled from the database. So that way they know how current it is. So just like that, I was able to create, update, refresh, and publish a line sheet in just a few minutes, replacing a process that would otherwise have taken me hours to do. Should we do another one? Sure, why not, right? It's just so quick and easy, huh? This time, let's make a catalog. Let's do some footwear. So let's take a look at our men's catalog. We clear the cues here, and yeah, men's search. Well, we got a lot of shoes here. Let's go ahead and just pick a couple of these items here. Those look good. Add those to my queue and create. This time we're connecting to a different database. We're getting a different set of information, and we're pulling it into a different layout. And just like that, voila! I now have a publishable product catalog. Only took a few seconds. So now I know what you're thinking. How does all this work? Well, let's take a look at that admin tab. So when we come over to the admin tab and we look at these offerings here, see we just have a variety of selections where we're making a connection to a database. So a system administrator or a department head would define these settings for us. We're connecting to a variety of database options. We support MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, or Oracle, you name it. Any number of databases are supported. By connecting to that database, we're just going to look at a view or a virtual table that's built within that database. And the view is where the system administrator would organize the information that they want us to have access to. So once that connection is established, we can then pick from all those fields that are available to us, and we can even choose which one of those fields we want to have available as filter options. So when we do searches, we can search by some of those, a subset of those items, and then we just give the settings file here a friendly name that our end user will be able to recognize. So all this information is stored within a file that is easily distributable, so our system administrator can then replicate these configurations across departments, work groups, or throughout the enterprise. So let's go back over to that Templates tab that has been beckoning us. So how easy is it to create a template? Well, I'm just going to go ahead and open up our footwear template that we just used, and let's take a look at how this thing is laid out. So we just have a number of boxes here with some generic information placed in them. Each of these boxes is associated with a field within our database. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how easy it is just to add a new field. I'm just going to draw a little box right here, and I'm going to call it retail. So let's do some character formatting on that. Let's make that white so we can see it. Change our font and our font size. And let's organize that a little bit. Put it to the right. Let's move it into a position. And just like that, I have a new field on my template. Now I'm going to map that through the Templates tab. Let's go ahead and we're going to map it to the retail field. I'm going to pick my data type, and we have a variety of data types here available. This one is going to be currency. Notice I have a symbol here where I can input the specific currency symbol I want to use. And then all I have to do is hit map. So now that field has been established that it's going to be a currency field. It's going to pull the retail value for the product that we've selected, and I'm going to say that that's a repeat per item, so we have a retail field for each product that we bring back. From there, I just save the template, Let's go ahead and close that. That wasn't too hard, not too difficult at all. Let's go back over to our data tab, and this time let's clear our search and let's do some kids footwear. I'm going to grab these kids items. Those look good. Add them to our queue. Boom. And voila. There we go. And notice we have our price, our retail value. So it was just that easy. Took a couple seconds, mapped the field, placed it on my template, created a whole new catalog, and now I'm showing the price. Pretty simple. So we have some additional advanced features that people like to take advantage of. As you know, we talked about the currency symbol. Let's say, for instance, you wanted to show a foreign currency by simply selecting a currency field that you're going to populate into. You can have the option to input whatever symbol you want. So in this case, I'm showing that I can input the euro symbol. And that way, when I populate the Euro MSRP field on my document, it'll show it in euros. Another popular one is the ability to create tables using delimited data. So in our database, in this example, we have a collection of sizes that use a comma as a separated value. And then another field where we have a list of colors using a comma as a separator. And we've designated that we want to create a data type of table using the sizes as our column headers and colors as our row headers. So it would read that data and generate this size color chart for us. Popular item is the section header. So section header support allows us to create an additional layer within our template that we call the section header. And then any object that we place on that layer that is being populated from our database takes the position as a new section. So, for instance, in this example here, we have our mountain bike series, and we have this nice image that starts off as part of our section header. So it will place that image of our guy riding down the mountain in the first page of the section of the mountain series. And in doing so, it's going to make sure that it moves all of the other items, the actual products that are coming back from the database. It'll move them aside or move them down out of the way so they don't get covered up by that section header. We can toggle with opposing page support. So in this case, let's say, for instance, we had a section header that went down the left-hand side of the page. And when you wanted to, when that section, when a new section separator came up on an even number page, it'll move to the right-hand side and rotate 180 degrees. So that way, it'll toggle depending on whether it's an odd number page or even number page that section header gets inserted on. So by now you're probably wondering, how do I get it? Well, due to the dynamic configurability of the product, trial copies aren't exactly a realistic option, though we are working on an evaluation server that will allow you to access our demo server and online content. The product is available for InDesign for CS6 and CC, and it's available for both Mac and Windows. I encourage you to contact sales at e-spec.net or use the contact form on our website to request more detailed information or a more in-depth demonstration. Don't forget to follow us on LinkedIn or Facebook, and stay tuned for more solutions coming from eSpec. Thank you for taking the time to watch this recording, and have a great day.